Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Alve Prasad. Today the topic I would like to discuss is about working with Cucumber hooks. So what are the hooks provided by Cucumber framework and how can we make use of it to design our automation test cases is what we will say today. As part of the introduction, so the Cucumber provides three kinds of hooks which are called as the scenario hooks, conditional hooks and step hooks. So let's get into the each individual topic of it to understand more about it. So first one is the scenario hooks. So scenario hooks having annotations like at before and after at after, where this at before and at after acts as a precondition and post condition for the scenario. And so in Cucumber framework, there is no hard code rule that you have to write these hooks in a so and so specific file and that file has to be created under so and so package, right? So there's no rule like that. So that means you can create these hooks in any class and that class can be created under any package, right? So when it comes to the execution part, what the Cucumber JVM does is when JVM finds a scenario to execute, first it will find are there any hooks provided in the framework. If it finds the hooks, when the JVM finds any hook with the at before annotation, then JVM will execute that block of statement first. Then it will execute the scenario. When the JVM completes the execution of last step in that scenario, then JVM will trigger the after step annotation if it finds in the framework. So this before and after acts as a precondition and post condition. And yeah, this is about the introduction to the scenario hooks. So the next one is the conditional hooks. So conditional hooks are a subset of the scenario hooks, we can say, because we will be using at before and at after annotations only. But in this, the difference is only we are providing the condition. The condition is of a two types by passing the tags and by passing the order in the as a condition. Tags means tags means this is a condition. See, when we design a scenario in the feature file, we tag that scenario with a specific name, right? Based on the functionality or based on the business need, we will be tagging that scenario with a tag name. So that tag name you have to provide it here in the at before and at after. So when JVM finds the scenario to execute, where the this condition tag is matching with that scenario, then only in that specific condition only the conditional tag based hooks will get triggered. Okay, that's about the tag based conditions. And the next one is about the order based condition. So this is a straightforward where you will be using the before and after annotations and passing the order. Order accepts the integer value from 1 to 10,000. And when you give the order of these hooks will be executed first as a priority. And if you provide the say for example, if you have a one scenario in a feature file and you are using the scenario that means scenario hooks, that means at before and at after you are using, along with that you are using order also. That means you have a at before block, at before with order block and a scenario. So in that case, order conditional hook will get executed first, then the scenario hook which is at before will execute at second, third will be executed as a scenario. The third one is a scenario which will get executed. That means the order the hook will take the preceding of the execution. Okay, and the third one is the step hooks. Okay, step hooks are only available if you use the dependency as io.cucumber. I will show you that. Okay, before that, let me give an introduction to the step hooks. Okay, this is the scenario which I copied from the Cucumber documentation. Okay, so these three lines of statements we call it as a scenario. A scenario is having a two lines here. These two lines we call it as a steps, scenario steps. These three lines are the scenario. Under the scenario, these two lines are called as a scenario steps. So when you use the step hooks, and the step hook accepts the at before and at after step annotations. So before executing the step scenario step, the JVM finds JVM try to find the at before step and at after step annotation provided in the framework. If it finds So before executing the scenario step, the hooks at before step hook will get triggered, and after after completing the scenario step execution, after completing the scenario step execution, then the after step annotation will get triggered as a post condition. So this annotations, that is at before step and at after step, will be repeated for all the steps present in the scenario, and it will be repeated for all the scenarios from the feature file. Okay, so this is the introduction of the step hooks. And as I said, these step hooks will be available only when you use the dependency of IO cucumber, when where the group ID should be io.cucumber. So only for this dependency, these at before and at step annotations are available. If you use info.cooks as a dependency, only that in that case you can use only the scenario hooks. You can use only scenario hooks and conditional hooks if the dependency is info.queues. Okay, for the info.queues, the before step and after step annotation is not available. Okay, so this completes the introduction part of the cucumber hooks. So in the next video we'll see about the how to make use of these hooks to design our automation framework. Okay, thank you guys, thanks for your time. Thank you.